How much shuffling there's going to be and changing on the fly. I'm thinking of trying to get Murray against Gretzky. It's going to be a lot of interesting line changes.
And now Paul Loriot is ready.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light that so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last evening, whose broad stripes and a bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we once were so gallantly free, when the rocket red flag along with Medina gave through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, say the last star-spangled banner yet waves, for the land of the free and the home of the To Canada, our home and native land, to live long in all the land. With growing heart we see rise and grow strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on a guard thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh,
Well, the referee for tonight's game is Bob Myers of Ancaster, Ontario, and working with him as linesmen Ron Finn and Leon Stickle. Murray Bannerman, who performed so well at Chicago Stadium as the Hawks tied the series, is the Blackhawk goaltender tonight. And Brent Fuhr, who was lifted after 5:24 of the third period in Game 4, is the Oiler goaltender, and this will be his 12th consecutive start. Now, in the warm-up, he was helped off the ice just as the warm-up concluded by Don Jackson.
So we certainly are going to have to watch Grant Fuhr early in the hockey game, see how he feels. I'm sure the coaching staff are doing the same thing. We're not sure what the injury problem is. Now, the Oilers have inserted Don Jackson in the lineup in place of Melnick. They have him out for the first shift, which is important for him. And Chicago have Wilson on the ice for the first shift. Important for them.
The game is underway as Randy Gregg dumps it in across the Chicago line. Back out into the center ice area and shot down into the Edmonton zone.
No doubt immediately the Chicago Blackhawks make a line change. They want to get that proper assignment out on the ice.
Loose puck in the Chicago zone, and it's brought out by Savard. Savard on the right side of Larmer, and he deflected it to the goal box, and Fuhr made the save. Krushelnyski has it go off his skate to the corner. O'Callaghan is bumped by Krushelnyski. Willie Lindstrom out front. Saved by Murray Bannerman. As Gretzky took that centering pass from Willie Lindstrom.
Well, already we've seen two fantastic saves by Fuhr and Bannerman.
And we're approaching 1 minute of this first period. Game 5 of the series tied at 2. Charlie Huddy, who shaved off his beard after the loss in Chicago on Sunday, for Krushelnyski. He scores!
the Blackhawks skated was Paul Coffey rushing with a puck. This develops into a 2-on-1 break as the Blackhawks gamble, and Krushelnyski makes a good play on Bannerman, freezes him, and throws it high in the corner.
You know what happens here is the wingers end up on their offside. Krushelnyski, the left winger, ends up on the right side of the ice. Curry's the one that passed him the puck. He ended up on the left wing instead of being on the right side. And well, that's good caution. That really mixes up the other team's defense. Now, Gretzky's line was on the ice. They had DuPont and Murray. That's the pair that they won. Edmonton flying.
Curry and Coffey drawing assists on Krushelnyski's third of the playoffs. That goal coming at 1:11. There's a loose puck. Here's Olsen. Goes to the corner. Back to the line. Then Wilson with a shot. High, and it's gloved by Grandsure and the Olsen. So the Edmonton Oilers draw first blood. 1-0 they lead with 18:37 left in the first. Now, this is certainly a different atmosphere at Northlands Coliseum than what we've become accustomed to.
Very lively. Let's look at Chicago. Ben Olsen with a back groin. Keith Brown with a hip pointer, both on the ice at the same time.
Al Secord takes a shot. It bounces off the leg. And Glenn Anderson starts out with Napier on the right side. Long shot. Murray Bannerman takes it off the chest and then holds it for a face-off. Now with the Stanley Cup update, here's Dave Hart.
The Philadelphia Flyers have answered Quebec with a power play goal of their own. It doesn't happen, though, until Mario Gosselin fires the puck around the boards to the wrong man. Mark Howe takes it and finds Joe Patterson, real playoff hero for the Flyers, in front of the net. It's tied at 1.
And now Jackson and Ben Wilson are going at it. And that started after the whistle.
I'll tell you what, during that scrap, there was a lot of punches thrown. Jackson had the best of Wilson early, and then Wilson landed one late, both of them throwing heavy punches. Now remember, Semenko's not in the lineup, so Edmonton wanted to make sure they got a tough person in the lineup, so they dressed John Jackson.
Live on CBC, this is Hockey Night in Canada.
Certainly didn't take Jackson long to get involved as he and Wilson went at it. Both received 5-minute major fighting penalties. It's 1:35.
Keith Brown and Glenn Anderson are also going off.
They continued to joust after the fight was finished, and after they had sent Wilson and Jackson to the penalty box. Both of them kept going, so Bob Myers decided, well, it's time we send them to the penalty box.
Number 9, Glenn Anderson. A 10-minute misconduct to each player. The time, 1 minute, 35 seconds.
Well, Glenn Anderson serving the 10 minutes, and Sather certainly doesn't like to see that happen because he has been one of the stars of the Oilers, especially in Chicago, along with Mark Messier.
Messier is out there now with Kozar and Napier. It comes back to Kevin Lowe. Lowe on the right side to Napier. He deflects it in. 1-0. The Oilers lead it. The goal by Krushelnyski. 1:11 into this first period. Doug Wilson is out there now. Kozar is taken in against the boards as Wilson and Napier jostle in the corner.
Doug Wilson getting a second shift of the hockey game with that bad groin. Looks to be all right. He has it heavily wrapped. He was here early today. He did not skate this morning, but he had it. He was here very, very early to try and get it warmed up. They're actually, you know, the Chicago Blackhawks addressed them with defenses, so with Brown in the penalty box, it doesn't really hurt them. They still have 6 players that can take regular shifts. Anderson in the penalty box, they move Kozar up on the left side. A very, very versatile forward.
Well, the sign on the scoreboard imploring the fans to make some noise, and they are responding. And, of course, it helps with the Oilers getting that quick jump in the goal by Krushelnyski. Wilson into the center ice area for Patterson on the left side. Secord trying to catch up with it. He pokes it into the corner, then he's bodied by Kevin Lowe. Secord pushes Lowe back. Secord did an awful lot of hitting in Game 4 in Chicago. Kevin Lowe crosses the line. Tried to drop it for Napier. It was dumped down the outside of Chicago.
Now, what's going to be very interesting, you know, how the Chicago Blackhawks respond to hitting by the Edmonton Oilers. They did lots of it in Chicago, and I think they have to do the same thing here. Try to slow down the Oilers.
Krushelnyski takes Larmer in against the board. Brought out into the center ice area, and Charlie Huddy has it. Rink-wide pass for Coffey. Coffey back to Yari Curry. Curry crosses the line and drives, sails wide. It was offside.
Well, one thing about 99, when it takes a super effort in a big game, Gretzky normally responds, and the Oilers expect Wayne to do that tonight, along with his line mates of Curry and Krushelnyski, and the line got off to an excellent start. But Sather and company said, look, we have to utilize our strength. That's the skating game, and they've showed it so far in this first period.
Troy Murray on the ice right now. He's the shadow. Everybody knows it for Gretzky, but they've taken Gretzky's line off the ice, put McClellan back on. Sather has the home ice advantage. Things going his way early in this game.
Well, that was the thing they were able to do so well in Chicago, is get the matchup they wanted. I'm referring to the Chicago Blackhawks and Coach Bob Colford. It's offside.
Colford mentioned that there'd probably be a very slow game. It might even be about 3.5 hours, but this morning Colford mentioned that one area that Sather has used is Gretzky and Messier playing with two lines, and this would be a real problem for Colford because that would mean eliminating Sutter, Larmer, and Savard. So he hasn't decided yet what will happen if Sather goes into that sort of strategy.
Don't you think, Gary, that if Edmonton gets the lead, they'll go more with 3 lines, maybe even 4. If Edmonton gets behind, that's when they'll go with 2 lines, and that's when Chicago will get in trouble because Chicago certainly don't have the horses to match 2 lines against 2 lines. There you can see Gretzky having a discussion with Myers. Sather's upset. They wanted Gretzky on the ice or off the ice. I'm not sure what's going to happen here, but you can see Myers is just allowing a line change here. Now Gretzky goes over towards the box, the player's box. He's not allowed on the ice.
And during our first intermission, we'll have a feature on Wayne Gretzky and his shadow, Troy Murray. I think you'll find it most interesting to hear the comments.
Well, you give Troy Murray a lot of marks. He's played super in this series.
Loose puck comes down the ice, racing after it is Fraser. Fraser going in, backhand. Here comes.
You know, on this play, Coffey tries to come back and be the protector as the temperaments flare up a little bit. A lot of the Blackhawks were skating away from Kevin McClellan when McClellan tries to be a bit of an instigator out there. They know that his temper tries to get the opposition going, but that last save by Fuhr was a good play as Coffey cut across, and then Fraser cut in and had a real good shot. Fuhr looked sharp early, considering that he was supposed to be injured during the warm-up.
Well, the way this game has started, I think we're in for a very long night. Tonight's game on CBC is coming to you from Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton.
The box area is getting very crowded. Each team has 3 players over there. Fraser McClellan just gets 2 minutes roughing minor penalty. And Myers is certainly trying to get a good control of this hockey game. And John, you talked about the good effort that Fraser made here. Watch Coffey. He went for the puck, and Fraser made a good move. And now this is where your goaltender can bail you out. And does Grant Fuhr ever do a good job on that one?
The tricky little shot when the puck is rolling. And Fuhr is really sharp early. He's got a lot more quickness. Look at him bear down. Look at the concentration. And he knows where the puck is. It's first behind him, and there's the concentration where he found that rebound and pulled it out before it went across the goal line.
16:35 remaining in this first period. 1-0. The Oilers lead it. Jack O'Callahan played 2 outstanding games at Chicago Stadium. Starts wheeling out of his own zone. A member of the United States Olympic team in 1980. Drop pass for Lysiak, and Fuhr deflected that one to the glass. They bang away along the boards, trying to poke it free. Finally, it goes back to the corner, and Kevin Lowe has it for Edmonton. Rink-wide pass now for Mark Messier. He has Messier with him. Drop pass for Messier. He tried to get it back to the line. Before the run, it is loose and brought out by Chicago. Lysiak across the line. Comes back to Patterson. He takes the shot. It's knocked down in front, and there's a penalty call coming up against the Edmonton Oilers.
Well, the rumor was it was going to be a very, very physical hockey game. This time Chicago makes the rush, and Messier gets caught for a high sticking penalty. It happened back in the slot area in front of Grant Fuhr. The Oilers are really showing a lot of speed and a lot of aggressiveness early in this game. Both the staff and coaching staff mentioned that they thought it would be a very physical hockey game. And true to form, the coaches are right again.
Much was mentioned this morning, John, that we have to utilize our speed, play the skating game. If the opportunity presents itself, yes, we have to take somebody out, but the last thing we want to do is take a lot of bad penalties.
Bad penalties, that's the key word. But with Wilson back in the lineup, Doug Wilson, that is, the defenseman for Chicago, his key is to be on the power play. A 4-on-3 situation here. Let's watch for the big shot.
Well, right now you can almost get a team picture in the penalty box area. 4 Oilers are in there, 3 Chicago Blackhawks.
I've never seen Paul Coffey take a face-off before.
Did a pretty good job as Gretzky moves in to dump it down the ice. The Blackhawks split the man advantage in the minors to Fraser and McClellan, 57 seconds remaining.
The confidence that Sather has in a guy like Curry, killing a penalty. He's out on that ice.
Larmer, who had 2 goals in that 8-6 win on Sunday. Back to the line. Wilson with a drive. Right on. They score on the rebound. Troy Murray.
Well, it ends up being a power play goal for the Blackhawks. Now, Wilson kept the puck down pretty good, but he's just got a little more strength and quickness on his shot than a regular person, and Muir simply can't handle it. Look how he lost it. That puck was up a little enough that he could handle that, and he didn't. Nobody picked up Murray, but the key is the shot.
You know, it's very important that when a guy is standing around there, somebody has to get him out of the way. Grant Fuhr does stop it with his blocker. I'm kind of surprised that Grant Fuhr couldn't catch that one with his trapper, John.
That's the thing, Gary. It's not your average shot from the point. It's Doug Wilson, and maybe is in the top 3 in the entire league, shooting the puck from the blue line, and it's hard for a goaltender to handle it.
The Blackhawks back on even terms. The power play goal by Murray is 5th from Doug Wilson and Savard. And of course, Doug Wilson is such an integral part of the Chicago power play back on that blue line. And he picks up an assist. Gretzky works to the corner, trying to set something up. Takes the shot, it goes wide. Curry tried to feed it back to the net to Gretzky. Wilson got there first. Now Callahan is forced by Curry. The puck is loose in the corner. Finally, it comes up along the boards, and Troy Murray starts out for the Hawks. Murray having problems getting away from Gary Curry. Curry, one of the best two-way forwards in the entire league, and whistled down on an offside.
Paul Coffey actually skating pretty well now. He was hit with that shot during warm-up. He limped off. He's got 3 medical problems, Coffey does. He's got the sore ankle. He's got a sore wrist where he took a cross-check in Chicago in Game 4. He had that bandaged up on the airplane flying back to Edmonton from Chicago yesterday. And he's had back spasms when he was hit by a a shoulder by Big Babbitt, the Winnipeg Jets. So he's playing hurt, Paul Coffey is.
And it got very nasty in Game 4 as there were 7 slashing penalties.
Now it's dumped down the ice by Edmonton. Racing back after it, and as it's touched by Jerome Dupont, an icing call against the Oilers.
Talking to Roger Nielsen about Dupont, he was talking about the intensity of the young defenseman. He said that sometimes that intensity can be a detriment because it gets the person too exhausted before a game. You're too intense. You try to calm him down a little bit, get him prepared in that fashion before the game, and he's really played well for this hockey club. Stretching Brown and Wilson tonight on defense in Chicago, you have to wonder both ways about it. They're good players. Will they help even though they're injured? Or do you try and lead the other players that got them this far that played so well in Games 3 and 4 in Chicago?
Back to the line as Dupont tried to get a shot, but it was knocked off his stick, and Messier comes back. Messier over to Randy Gregg. Gregg in front of Napier, and he couldn't get a stick on it. Messier with a drive right on. Great opportunity for Napier. Now Messier trying to slide it out front. He was looking for Bozar, blocked by the Hawks. They are having problems getting out of their own zone. 3 men in, forechecking for the Oilers. Comes back to the line. Randy Gregg shoots it in. 13:53 is the time left in this first period. The score tied at 1. Messier along the boards trying to poke it away from Patterson. Finally it comes out on the other side, and it's dumped down the ice. There's Lysiak racing after it. He's taken in against the boards by Kevin Lowe. Messier for Edmonton, back at his own net. He's brushed in against the boards by Seaborn. Chance for the Oilers. Messier bumped there by Wilson. It goes to the corner and is dumped down the ice by Lysiak. And back after it goes Paul Coffey. Coffey trying to go around Wilson. Coffey still has it, slides it out in front. The penalty coming up against Doug Wilson. Stanley Cup 85 on CBC returns in a moment.
Doug Wilson gets the call on the holding, and it's just pure speed by Messier that drew that penalty. And John, already I can see that the Blackhawks are starting to back in, and they just can't expect to be competitive and win hockey games if they continue to back in with their blue line, because that's playing right into the hands of the Edmonton Oilers.
There you can see where Doug Wilson finishes his check. You can see him holding Coffey. You know Coffey's going to go to the outside. You still can't do anything about it. Now the face-off is outside because after the penalty was called, the Edmonton defenseman moved in to join the pushing and shoving. Face-off was immediately signaled for outside the blue line.
DuPont clears it for Chicago.
Now, John Muckler was mentioning to us that we have to get men in front of the net. Let's see if the Oilers do it on a power play.
Curry shoots it in. It goes to the corner. Luzik out there killing off this penalty for the Blackhawks. Checked by Gretzky. Puck is loose. Picked up in the corner by Curry. It comes loose again, and Luzik manages to clear it into the neutral zone. Got back in for Gretzky, and Curry tried to go rink wide with Gretzky breaking for the net. He got Benko. It comes back to the point for Coffey. Back of the net for Gretzky. Krushelnyski is out front. He goes to the corner instead to Curry. Back to the line for Coffey. To the other side, to Huddy, to Coffey. Coffey over to Yari Curry. Look again, the shot scores!
Well, the Oilers note the pace and passing the puck around before they finally got the open shot. Well, Curry shoots and watch who's around him. Absolutely nobody. He's got 30 feet to walk in. How do you expect Murray Bannerman to stop the puck from there? That's an absolute rocket. And I also like what Krushelnyski is doing in front. He's starting to get in front of the net, establish good position, but he really didn't set up a screen against Bannerman that time. It was just a overwhelming shot by Curry.
So for Edmonton against Chicago, that's their third power play goal in 17 tries. All three of their power play goals have come here in the Edmonton Coliseum.
So Yari Curry shut out in the two games at Chicago Stadium. Gets his 12th in the playoffs. Coffey and Huddy drawing a set. Gretzky fires it on the wing for Lumley. His first shift of the game. Into the slot for Gretzky. Quick release. And Bannerman reacts. Gretzky was being tied up there by Doug Wilson. Still got the shot away. Lumley tried to slide it out front. It was picked off by the Hawk and Savard. Feeds it over to Wilson. Wilson with a long blast off the glass. He can let rockets go from that blue line position. Here's Larmer in front. And it's cleared by Lumley, and there's a penalty coming up against the Edmonton Oilers. Ron Jackson will be going to the box with 11:28 left in the first.
This is becoming a favorite spot for Don Jackson as he draws his second penalty here in the first period, this time on the interference. See it coming up as he certainly takes care of any attempt to look for a pass or set up a screen in front of his own net.
So with Curry's 12th goal, that gives him the goal-scoring lead for the NHL playoffs this season. Bob Colford up on the bench to try and get a better view.
Sutter is out there with Lysiak and Murray. O'Callaghan back at the blue line. He had it knocked off his stick. Secord is also back playing the point with him. This is something of an unusual power play alignment for the Chicago Blackhawks.
Now you just saw Messier throw a zoning check into O'Callaghan, and I think that's getting even for some of the checks that O'Callaghan threw in Chicago Stadium. Boy, did that rock the boards.
Murray picks it up off the boards for O'Callaghan. For Lysiak. It's deflected wide. Sutter trying to center it. It's knocked to the corner, picked up there by Lysiak. Lysiak, rink wide for Ben Wilson. A shot, he scores! Sutter positioned at the side of the net. Deflected it in.
Well, they continue to score goals. Fast That's the second power play goal of this game in this first period for Chicago. Good pass work again. Watch Sutter. He's such a smart player. He goes against the flow. Nobody even knows he's over there. The puck went to the other side of the ice. Sutter snuck in behind all by himself. Look at him waiting, delaying. He's waiting, he's delaying. Sees everybody, leaves him alone. Now he'll sneak out around Grant Fuhr. And what a perfect pass to the left point. Wilson put it over there perfectly and right in the side of the net.
Again, it's a case of not setting up the box properly and also the inability to look around and find that open man. But Sutter was very smart by just hanging around behind the net as he was picked out, John.
Well, the Hawks said they didn't want to get into a shootout with the Oilers, but what transpired in Game 4 and so far in the first period of this game, you wouldn't ever know that's their plan of attack. 10:24 is the time left in the period. Drop pass. Oh, check with a shot. It goes loose back of the net, picked up there by Charlie Hart. Ahead for Paul Coffey. Working against Doug Wilson. Coffey trying to go around him. Still has it. Coffey back to the point for a Hunting. A shot is saved by Bannerman. The puck back of the net. The Oilers trying to dig it out. Krushelnyski tied up by Bob Murray. Gretzky comes in there trying to poke it loose. Finally, they kick it free along the board. Now Gretzky has it back of the net. Gretzky against Doug Wilson, unable to center it. It's deflected down the ice, and back for it goes Paul Coffey. Coffey has it forced back into his own zone by the checking of Troy Murray. Now Yari Curry starts out for Coffey. Again, trying to go around Doug Wilson, and Wilson pokes it away from him this time. Gretzky moving into the slot. Now back to Curry. Curry to Gretzky. Gretzky takes the shot. He just flipped it towards the goal mouth. Bannerman held it for a faceoff. Hockey night in Canada and the Stanley Cup playoff. The tradition continues. 9:19 is the time left to play in this first period.
Well, the goaltender has to try and concentrate when you have all the people standing in front. Watch Bannerman move around. He's trying to find the puck through all that traffic, trying to stay in the throat, not move your head too much. If you do, you get off balance. Actually, Coffey deflected that last shot with one hand.
Savard plays it up on the boards. Secord was unable to get it out. Now DuPont will try. He takes a check from Kozar, but managed to dump it down the ice.
Well, there's an example of the Oilers can play any style you want. You know, they've got their skating game going, and also when the opportunity presents itself, they're getting a lot of good takeouts against Chicago.
Well, the Blackhawks looking for a line matchup of Lysiak against Messier, and that's what they've got right now. Messier dumps it in. Going back after it is Patterson. Patterson takes the check from Napier. Napier out front, and it's fired wide by McClellan. Napier has it again. Out front again, and Hunter couldn't get a shot away. Hunter back to the line. Fogelin with a shot. It's knocked down in front, and back come the Hawks. Long shot by Patterson. It goes wide, and Fogelin picks it up off the end board. He dumps it down the ice. The race for the puck. Willie Lindstrom trying to get there. He's blocked by Doug Wilson. Lindstrom now has the puck again for McClellan. Lindstrom trying to feed it back at the net for McClellan. Hit Wilson with it. McClellan comes in to try and dig it out. He's bodied then by Savard, but it does come loose and is cleared by Chicago. 7:53 remaining in this first period. Willie Lindstrom has it poked away, and the Hawks. Darryl Sutter bring it out to center ice. Sutter is then bodied by McClellan. They tie it up along the boards for a faceoff. From Northland Coliseum in Edmonton, this is Stanley Cup 85 on CBC.
I think we're all surprised that Wilson is getting as much ice time as this, and it just seems that the Oilers are working all their plays towards his side, trying to go around wide, and they've been very successful up to this point.
Well, the thing is, he may be healthy enough to play tonight, like he says he is, but they may try and wear him down, keep going at him. By the third period, he may be ineffective.
O'Callahan brings it out for the Hawks. O'Callahan across the line, tried to center it, and it was picked off by Krushelnyski. Yari Curry now comes out for Coffey. Coffey across the line, the shot, it went wide. And again, Wilson takes Coffey into the end boards. He holds him there as well. Coffey out of the play as Troy Murray comes back. Murray gets in and Hudley and centered it, but Fraser couldn't get a shot away. Now Olczyk has it, a shot. That's a front shot, Hudley to the corner, and Gretzky unable to clear it. Olczyk with another shot. It's deflected wide. Penalty coming up as it's gone out by Krushelnyski. It might be going against Grant Fuhr.
Well, it's the second or third time during the first period that Grant Fuhr has been using his goal stick. He mentioned this morning that his goal crease is going to get much larger. In fact, he says it'll be about 20 feet square tonight. And he's trying to use it, trying to protect himself. And, you know, sometimes goaltenders, if they get using that goal stick too much, it can bother your concentration. There you saw him slash away at Fraser.
I think he's just trying to discourage anybody from standing in front of him. But look, we all know the importance of getting a man in front of the net. And I think everybody realizes that a goaltender also has to get very tough and retaliate. The only way he can do that is a little tap to the ankle.
Now with the Stanley Cup update, here's Wayne Hawes.
With less than 5 minutes to play in the third period at Quebec, the Philadelphia Flyers own the lead for the first time in the game. Brian Croft to Murray Craven. His goal beats Mario Gosselin. The first Philadelphia goal was by Joe Patterson. There's that Sittler trade again. Patterson and Craven, and the Flyers lead.
So Fuhr got the flashing penalty at 13:04 of the first period. We have a 2-2 game here, and both Chicago goals were on the power play. They're 2 for 2 tonight, so they've got something going in that respect.
Randy Gregg plays it off the boards and back into the Chicago zone. Krushelnyski serving the minor penalty to Grant Fuhr. 6:44 the time left in this first period. Secord shoots it in. Larmer is tied up as he attempted to go to the corner. Secord comes in to help out. For Savard, back to Bob Murray to the other side. Wilson, he takes the shot. Secord in front of the net. And Grant Fuhr tied up. Secord tries to center it. Messier picks it off, and the Oilers come back. Messier trying to go around Wilson. Takes the shot to save the rebound. As Hunter followed up on the play. Back comes Savard for Larmer. Larmer forced to circle in the center ice area. Now in on the right side for Savard. Takes the shot. Tried to center it. It goes off a leg. Larmer has it in the corner. Back to Doug Wilson. Into the corner again to Savard. Savard for Secord. A shot. Block save by Fuhr. Up front they score. Larmer.
Oh, they're dynamite on the power play of the Chicago Blackhawks. And any time you give Larmer that open shot from the slot, you know that he's going to put it in.
Gary, they're just showing more quickness right here than are the Edmonton Hockey Club. There we see the rebound. Now watch who gets the puck first. Look at these guys. The Chicago team are just right on top of the penalty killers for the Edmonton Oilers, and the quickness is prevailing. Now watch the rebound go. Watch who gets there. Look at the Oilers. They don't even know where the puck is, and bingo, it's in the net.
Now the third power play goal. Larmer his ninth from Savard and Secord at 14-13.
So for the first time in this game, the Chicago Blackhawks have the lead.
What a combination, though, on the power play. Savard, the guy that sets up the plays. You have Wilson back on the left point. Very smart with the puck, and he can spot everybody. Then you have Secord getting in front, and then the real sniper, Larmer.
Well, the Chicago Blackhawks felt they could silence the crowd by getting a lead here at Northlands Coliseum. And there is certainly a contrast as to the amount of noise now to what there was at the start of this hockey game. Vogelin for Billy Carroll, his first shift. He fires it back to the net. Bannerman playing it up along the board. Bogart trying to dig it out. Sutter is in there as well, and another face-off.
See where that's the start of
Chicago zone.
It's starting to heat up here. Lumley and Wilson. Lumley bumped into Bannerman, and Bannerman was out of the net. Wilson went right over, cross-checked Lumley, and then once they went to the boards, everybody started to mill around. You know, Lumley's job is to try and disturb the peace out there. And Big Ben Wilson saw him doing it. As you can see, it's starting to heat up again. Well, Ben Wilson got caught giving one of the Oilers a shot. Myers was sending him, and only him, I think, to the penalty box. It all started with Lumley bumping into Bannerman.
John, you mentioned about Lumley going out there to start to disturb it. That's exactly what he did, and it resulted in Chicago Chicago taking a penalty. But the power play, you know, your specialty teams can be very important to the outcome of a contest. And here the Chicago Blackhawks, they make it all work. And again, as you had said, John, that good puck pursuit. And if I ever want a guy shooting the puck on a power play, it has to be Larmer for the Chicago Blackhawks or Curry for the Edmonton Oilers.
So Lumley went out, caused a little bit of concentration problems for the Blackhawks. Here's how it started before Ben Wilson gets his roughness penalty. Now watch Vanderman's on the net. Watch the Lumley go. Now watch Wilson follow up with Lumley. Watch this. He came right over and bumped him. So Ben Wilson gets the roughing penalty. The Oilers get a chance to tie it up for the power play opportunity.
5:17 left in this first period. 3-2. The Blackhawks lead the Oilers. And now Bob Colfer discussing with Bob Myers that penalty, I'm sure, to Ben Wilson. Colford has sent Troy Murray out there along with Ludzing, Doug Wilson, and O'Callahan to kill off this penalty. And from the draw, Doug Wilson brings it out to center ice and then flips it back into the Edmonton zone. Coffey for Curry. Curry having some problems controlling that puck. Now he winds up. 1:43 remaining in the penalty to Ben Wilson. Gretzky gets it in the corner. Back to the line for a heavy flat shot. Kicked to the corner by Bannerman. Ludzing gets the puck and dumps it down the ice.
Well, again, you see the Edmonton Oilers using that play, the passing it around, and setting up the shot from the point. But again, there's not really anybody in front of the net.
Here comes Paul Coffey with 1:16 left in the penalty. He fires it in. Jerome Dupont gets to the board, and it's deflected to the center ice area. Patterson breaks out. Coffey, the only man back, with the late penalty call against the Edmonton Oilers. So that will nullify the man advantage that the Oilers held. 1:03 remaining in the penalty to Ben Wilson.
Krushelnyski gets the hooking penalty. Olchuk takes the dive on this play. A good play is Huddy tried to keep the puck in. Now watch Olchuk, watch his feet. They're just going to simply just go right out from underneath him as he was hardly even touched with Krushelnyski's stick. But that's a good play in hockey if it works.
So they're playing four skaters aside, and in 59 seconds, the Blackhawks, who have been devastating tonight with that man advantage, will have a power play. Anderson on the left side for Jackson. He slid it back into the slot, but nobody was in position, and it's dumped out to center ice. Gregg for Anderson. Anderson fires it in. Bannerman stops it back to the net, unable to get it away from Messier. Up front to Anderson, and he shot it wide. Lysiak, rink wide. Bob Murray in across the line, drops it back, and sent offside as he was looking for Patterson trailing on the play.
Boy, I like the position that linesmen had on that play. They were right on the blue line looking for that offside. Perfect call. I don't think we give them enough credit. Magnificent job.
Well, they certainly had to work a lot in Chicago with all the face-offs they had there, but Wolford was saying that if this hockey club could try and remain close to the Oilers, they'll be in real good shape, simply because Edmonton would start taking a few chances to get themselves a lead. Now, they have the one-goal lead here. Edmonton, if they start to open it up, Chicago feel that they can jump on the defensive mistakes that Edmonton would make if it happens.
And Fulford was also saying that his approach to this game was to play it a period at a time, try to win the first period, go for the next. Yes, Curry to the shot!
Well, Doug Wilson's giving it a best shot, but the Oilers are going at him every chance they get. Now, Wilson gives it to Curry. Now, what? The inside-outside move he does puts on Wilson. There it is. And a good low shot in the corner, but with Wilson out there playing against the Gretzky line or Paul Coffey, it's tough. The guy simply hasn't played very much. And you know Curry shoots the puck low on that stick side 90% of the time. He blew it by Bannerman.
And John, you know where Curry got the pass? He was on the right side. He cut into the middle and took a perfect pass from Kevin Lowe. That's getting into the opening. The defenseman gives you a perfect pass. But you know, he wanted. Gretzky's line out there, he wants Wilson on the ice. He may have to change that.
Well, the short-handed goal. Yari Curry's second of the game, his 13th of the playoffs from Kevin Lowe at 16:31 has tied the score at 3. 52 seconds remaining in the penalty to Mike Krushelnyski. Doug Wilson slides it ahead to Savard. He took a check at the line and it's cleared by the Edmonton Oilers. Blackhawks pop it up in their own zone. Billy Carroll in front. And the shot was directed wide by Dave Hunter. He was sent wide by Doug Wilson. And that produces a chorus of boos from the fans at Northland. Secord tries to drop it back to the point. Intercepted by Hunter and got down the ice.
With Billy Carroll on the ice at center for the Oilers against Savard, that doesn't hurt Edmonton. Carroll is a very, very good defensive centerman. We learned that, of course, when he spent his years with the New York Islanders.
Well, Savard and Vogelin got sticks up at each other well behind the play, and there are going to be penalties. I'm not sure whether it's one or two. Savard will be going off to the box. And that appears to be the only one. Remaining in the penalty to Krushelnyski. A flash call against Dennis Savard.
Well, it happened way behind the play. Obviously, Myers must have had a good view of it. And he didn't give each player a penalty, just to Dennis Savard. So Edmonton's going to work. Actually, negates that power play. Krushelnyski only has 12 seconds after his penalty, and then the Oilers will go to work.
2:32 is the time left in the period. 12 seconds in the penalty to Krushelnyski. And then the Edmonton Oilers scored a shorthanded goal to tie it. Will have the manpower advantage. Here comes Glenn Anderson. Drop pass for Messier. He drops it to Huddy. Cross ice for Coffey. There full strength to Krushelnyski. Backhand shot. And out of the net to make the save. Krushelnyski centered it. It bounced wide. Is poked down the ice by Steve Ludwig.
Well, that play is just the result of the Chicago Blackhawks again respecting the speed of the Oilers, backing in, and that's how that shot was set up to Krushelnyski coming out of the penalty box.
Napier trying to play it off the board, lost it, passes it away from the left side. Olczyk got a breakaway, and Fury makes the save. Olczyk scored a short-handed goal in Game 4 in that 8-6 win. He had a great opportunity to give the Hawks the lead. Anderson and Napier were ahead of the play as Gretzky brought it in offside.
Olczyk had a little bit of trouble trying to control the puck that was rolling at first, and then he showed some good speed and strength. You were very aggressive on the play. You had a stick from there to Olczyk, and watch how he extends it right here. Now he just reaches back with it, and with that goal step extended like it was, he deflected the shot wide. Watch the goal step here from this angle would be better. Watch him reach right out with it and knock the puck wide.
Saw Paul Coffey just give him a little shot before he released that. That might have had something to do also with Olczyk not getting that good a shot away.
1:04 the time left in the penalty to Dennis Savard. 1:36 remaining in the period. 3-3 the score. Paul Coffey, ring wide pass to Charlie Huddy, breaking in. He fired it wide. Back to the line for Coffey. Over to Huddy. His release was deflected by Ludwig, who takes it to the corner. Now Anderson trying to dig it out, gets it back to Huddy. For Gretzky to Anderson. Anderson back at the net, having trouble with O'Callahan. Gretzky comes in to help out. Gretzky controls it, 35 seconds left in the penalty. A shot, it deflects off the stick to the end board. To the line. Unable to keep it in against Troy Murray. Now Paul Coffey gets away from it. Coffey's breaking in. Bannerman with the save.
That is the result of a line change. As Wilson and I believe O'Callahan came off the ice. Murray and Dupont jumped on as quick as they could. And all that happened there was Coffey picked up on this. And look at him come in by himself. The defensemen both trying to catch him as they come off the bench. Bannerman makes a super save to keep the score tied. Look at Coffey turn it on. See Murray and Dupont trying to catch him? They had just come on the ice on that rather bad line change.
Well, against a team like the Edmonton Oilers, I wouldn't make a change until that puck goes deep in the Edmonton end of the ice. I think that's where you really have to use a lot of discipline.
If that's the way Paul Coffey can play when he's helped off the ice, all players should consider taking a shot in the ankle before a pregame warm-up. Back to the line. Coffey with a shot. Anderson got a piece of that one. Now it's Curry. Back to Coffey again. To Curry. He already has two. The Blackhawks at full strength as Savard comes out of the box. Olchek gets it ahead to Savard. Savard unable to control it as it's put away by Curry. Curry loses it at the line to Dupont. He plays it back to his own line to Lee Fogelin. As the Oilers make a change. Curry is still out there, however. Fogelin forced back into the corner by Tom Lysiak with just 4 seconds remaining in this first period. And there's the siren to end 20 minutes of play in Game 5.
Well, everything went pretty well for the Oilers except for their penalty killing.
The score at the end of the first period is Chicago 3 and Edmonton 3. Stay tuned for our first intermission.